Hello, I'm Evan Mitchell, Music Director of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra, and for the week of March the 14th, here's What's On. So we have a very special concert this week, one of our concerts that exists outside of our subscription series, and this is a concert which takes on a format that we are calling the full score. And this is something that we are trying for the very first time, and I really could not be more excited because this is an idea that I've wanted to try on for size for as long as I can remember. And this is such a special presentation that it takes place twice. We have two concerts featuring Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in the full score format, the first of which is Saturday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m., and the next is Sunday, March the 20th at 2:30 p.m., both shows at the Isabel Bader Center for the Performing Arts. And as of the recording of this podcast, the Sunday afternoon show is completely sold out, and the Saturday evening concert is selling fast, so grab your tickets while you can. So the full score is all about digging deep into an orchestral masterwork, in this case, the immortal Ninth Symphony of Ludwig van Beethoven, which is one of the greatest pieces ever written. It's incredible, and there's so much depth to this piece that we figured even with a regular series of Before the Downbeat initiatives, this podcast, the dress rehearsal video, that just wasn't quite enough for a piece of this magnitude. And so that's where the idea for the full score came from. So the idea here is that the first half of the concert is actually an on-stage, multimedia-rich presentation hosted by yours truly, in which I give some context about the piece, the history behind the piece, some anecdotes, live orchestral examples, and a whole bunch of points of interest that occur throughout the piece. Points that you can listen to and recognize, and their purpose. I talk a little bit about structure, I talk a little bit about Beethoven's compositional choices, and how the symphony works in the grand scheme of Beethoven's compositional life. So this will function basically in the vein of one of the pre-concert talks that we run before our Masterworks series concerts. That's a series that's called Meet the Music, and this full score presentation will take place on stage during the first half of the concert, and it's going to be like one of those pre-concert talks on steroids. Again, we're going to have slides, we're going to have live orchestral examples played from both Beethoven's Ninth Symphony and all sorts of other works, Beethoven's previous symphonies, other composers' works who influenced Beethoven, and it's going to be a really insightful way to explore the symphony and learn more about it, and to have points of reference to listen to as signposts over the course of the piece, which we're going to perform uninterrupted in the second half. And I really think it's going to be quite an event. It's going to be an experience of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, the likes of which you've never had before, and I couldn't be happier. This format will help everybody get even closer to this beloved masterwork, and we're going to perform it with such passion. We have, of course, your incredible Kingston Symphony Orchestra. We have spectacular vocal soloists and a truly magnificent choir that's massed from a variety of different choral sources around the region, making it a true Kingston celebration of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. And you don't want to miss this, so make sure you get your tickets for the Saturday night performance as soon as you can. Now, to get you excited for this performance, I'm actually going to play for you a section from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, the finale. I'm not going to be talking about this particular section on stage during the full score, so for those of you listening to the podcast, you get a wee bit of a bonus. This is one of my very favorite moments in Beethoven's Ninth Symphony because it just shows Beethoven's extraordinary dramatic sense. We start off with this incredible fugue with the entire orchestra playing a really difficult passage. It's just a barn burner, and then all of a sudden, the energy just gets pulled way back, and it's as though we don't know what's going on. And then we are hit in the face with just the most jubilant, over-the-top, ecstatic, and exciting choral entrance that you can imagine. And so that's why it's one of my very favorite parts of the symphony, and that's why I'm going to share it with you here. Enjoy this particular snippet of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So for this week, that's What's On. A big thank you to our friends at Templeman Meninga for being the What's On podcast sponsor. If you'd like to learn more about this program or any of the other concerts the Kingston Symphony performs, then browse to kingstonsymphony.on.ca. Purchasing tickets couldn't be easier. You can just give us a call at 613-530-2050 and speak with one of our wonderful customer service representatives, or you can browse to kingstonsymphony.on.ca. For the Kingston Symphony Orchestra, I'm Evan Mitchell, and I'll see you at the concert.